Hi, I'm Stephanie, focused on igniting your spark. I work with corporate women in male dominated industries to increase engagement, confidence, and joy in work and life through my certified 12 session high performance coaching program online, in groups, and one on one. Now, this week in Australia, it's book week. Not sure if you have that where you are, but today is the end of book week, and so today is the day that the kids get to dress up in whatever book character they like. So it got me thinking, because yesterday my youngest daughter was working out what she's going to wear, and it got me thinking a little bit about costumes. And funnily enough, coincidentally, not that I believe in coincidences, but maybe the universe was pointing me to what to talk about today. But my eldest daughter had also called me that morning yesterday and said how good she felt at work because she had some new clothes and, she was feeling really good about herself. And, she sort of said to me, why is that? And I said, well, because it's not about what other people think. Mind you, having a coach as a mum, these guys sometimes say, I want the mum, not the coach. But she was okay. She wanted the coach. I said, it's not about, what other people think. It's more about how it makes you feel. Because, if you feel like you look good, if you feel like, you're confident, then, you're better able to tackle the challenges throughout the day. So, it really got me thinking about the costumes that I have been wearing in my life. Because, in the last decade of developing myself rather than my profession, I recognized that I had been wearing different costumes. But as I look back, one of the things that also struck me is it's a bit like experimenting. I mean, when you were a kid, didn't you love dressing up? I mean, girls and boys alike seem to love that dress up. And I think a lot of what we do throughout life is experimenting with those different costumes of the way we want to be in our health, the way we want to be in our relationships, the way we want to be to generate our wealth. But I do believe we get to a stage where those costumes start to get really heavy and the changing of them becomes really draining. I know for me that it was my relationships costume that really started to drag me down. I really felt the person that I was being at home just really wasn't me. And it led to that I believe, led to that marriage breakdown, my first marriage and that breakdown, because I really wasn't being true to myself. The costume that I had put on, the one that I had ended up with, didn't fit. And the costume I was trying to put on, my ex-husband, didn't fit him either. And so it got to that point where I really had to rip that off and really work out what is it that I wanted, who was it that I wanted to be in my relationships. And on my health, it's still a journey. I've tried I'm ultra fit, I'm jogging, I'm exercising, and the personal trainer, right before I got married for the second time. Yes, that cliche. I was super fit, super healthy. But for me, it wasn't sustainable. That costume just got to the point where it was just too tight. And then I've had other periods of time where I've just gone through that real healthy eating. I stopped eating meat. I was completely vegetarian. But again, it got to that point where it just felt too heavy. And so the one I'm sort of playing with now, the one I'm experimenting with now is, if I feel good, if I can keep up with my kids and I'm healthy, then that's okay. That costume for my health seems to fit. And when it comes to my career, in fact, I was thinking about this, and it's interesting. I experimented for a long time with that costume of, the title and climbing that ladder and, having that level, that prestige. And it did get to a point where that also just felt way too heavy. And if you've heard my story, it was on top of a mountain that I think I kind of shed that. And the one that I'm wearing now, the one that really fits well, is doing something that for me is so fulfilling. And that's watching others shed their costumes. I was also talking to a former colleague earlier this week. It's funny how things align, right, to get you to talk about a certain topic. And, we were talking about, another colleague and how, they had been in a women's program. And, at the beginning of the week, she'd come in and she's the only female in a manufacturing plant of over 400 men. So she was the boss. there was another assistant who was female, but the rest were all men. So she would go to work, completely buttoned up, right? Shirt even had sewn extra buttons so that that shirt was completely buttoned up. All right, so at the beginning of this week, this program that they were on, that's how, she turned up to the program. But by the end of the program, she was in a summer dress, her hair was down, and she was lighter. And it's one of the things that I work with women to do now, is to get you to a point where you feel lighter. The fact is, we all wear these metaphorical costumes. Think of it this way. We wouldn't walk out in the street naked in the middle of the night without some sort of covering. You just wouldn't do it, right? So I believe that covering is necessary, and it's kind of healthy. Like that example with my eldest daughter about, how it made her feel. Because it's those costumes, if you like, those ways of being that feel like ourselves, that second skin, that really allow us to act the way we truly want, right? They're the ones that fit best. And so when you think about the costumes that you're wearing, are they weighing you down? Or are they like a second skin that really make you feel light and free? Because that's what I really want for you. So remember, you too can unleash your unique version of success. Comment below and let me know your thoughts about your costumes. See you next time.